And that's it. We're live, eh?
Yes, official.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to our very first live video at the new studio. Andrea's giving me a thumbs up. We are live. Wow, right? First of all, for all of you guys watching right now, I believe there's 5 of you. Thank you. To be honest, because you're doing something for the first time, I was expecting nobody to come, and obviously I was expecting this to crash out and burn, because that's what happens when you do something new, and of course the secret to life, right? But we're not going to get into that. So please give me your feedback. First of all, for those of you who are live, let me know in the comment section if you can hear me, if you can see me, if I'm talking too loud or too soft. And then also what you want to know about. So for those of you who are watching this video possibly after it was live, I want to give you an idea about what we're talking about today. So we are talking about a couple of things. I'm starting this new channel. There's a new project, and we're going to be talking about the secret project as well. I must confess there was some clickbait in the title. You know, everybody wants to know what we're doing in here. I've been a little bit quiet, so that's going to happen later. We're also going to talk about the mandatory hiking fees that have been introduced for 2026. We're going to talk about Fanal. We're going to talk about Christmas. We're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo's wedding, right? And what else? And the secret projects, and you know, what is this whole space. So you can expect much more of this kind of thing to happen. This is a new test drive, and almost like what feels to me as being like a new life, right? I'm trying the streaming thing. This is brand new for me. Maybe you see me on YouTube and you say, you know what? Yeah, he's always here. But for me, this is a new format, and it's something that I want to start doing more of. So what is it? You know, we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be talking Madeira. You know, I'm going to be live with you guys. I can see Ru's here. Awesome. Thank you, Ru. Kathy's here. Hello. You can hear. Thank you. And Zita. Well, I couldn't have hoped for 3 better people. Thank you guys for coming out. And thank you, Zita, as well. I know you're going through a tough time, so thank you for hanging out. Great that you guys all are here. And I'm sorry I just said that live on YouTube. Maybe I should start keeping my ideas to myself. But this is in the process. These kinds of casualties are going to happen. So if you've got questions about Madeira, put them up in the comment section. I'm going to get to them. And obviously we're going to go through these things. We are trying the system out. So it has been a couple of weeks. It's been about maybe 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 weeks where we've been prepping this new space. We haven't been really telling too many people what it is because 1, it's a bit of a wild idea, and then 2, it's also, you know, in construction, so I don't want to put everything out on the internet, you know. But now we're ready. We're getting there. The secret project is not ready yet, but it's coming. So we're going to be talking Madeira. Hello, Richard from South Africa. Fantastic. We've got one more person. Is Richard from Zita's Richard? Hey, is it? I'm not sure. Anyway, this is next level. Microphone's on. So mandatory hiking fees, right, guys? This is what you can expect. We're going to talk about the news that comes up, right? Don't want to talk about the Polish guy that is in the past. The only thing I really want to, you know, reflect on how sad it was, which of course it was sad, but obviously, you know, we need to be safe, and a lot of life lessons in that story. But we want to talk about what's current. So we're moving on to the hiking fees now. From January 2026, there's going to be a new system when you come hiking to Madeira. So if you're going to be hiking in Madeira, then you have to reserve not only your spot on the day, but also your time slot. So there's of course going to be loads of articles on why this is happening and all these things. I didn't want to get too much into it unless there was a question about it. But really, what's important to you is how do you use it. So I don't think there's going to be much difference to what is happening now. The links are all the same. I'm going to be bringing more content about how to hike in Madeira. That'll be coming soon. But I've already made this kind of video where you can find all the information. You can find it online. Probably even ChatGPT can do it. But For those of you who don't know, it's a website called Simplifica. And you just go on there and you book your time slot. I think it's a good idea. I think it's exactly what Madeira needs, is to start organizing the traffic, and maybe even saying no to people who, if it's full, if there's too many people on Pico do Arieiro for that day, then it's just full that day. Now, how they're going to police it, I have no idea. I don't think they know how they're going to do it, and that's not me bashing. You know, I know how Madeira works, all right? There's a saying here that we say expectation management, and I have expectation management with everything in Madeira. Everything takes a long time and isn't always what it's supposed to be when it comes out, but it does happen, as we've seen in Fanal, for instance. So I did want to try out some new tricks on my YouTube studio. So now we've got a second camera. There's me just on the second camera, but what we actually wanted was the computer screen, and this is, look, what's new. So we got Fanal over here. There it is. You know, the head honchos are talking about Fanal, and you know that there's lots of things coming on Fanal. This is just an article from the paper, you know, about everything that's going on in Fanal and the hiking that I was talking about, of course. So that's there, but also wanted to kind of reflect on the work that we've been doing as well, which is here at Hit the Road, of course. So there's a new website at our business, right? This is not just a YouTube studio, and part of this video is to let you know what's been going on in our lives and you know, what's going on in the business, you know, and what can you guys expect more of. So we have been really tidying up our systems, our customer journey, our booking flow, our website appearance, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring in, you know, the website, which now, whoa, this is the new test here, because now here it's like this, but on the video capture on the computer screen it's still the same.
Oh,
so
weird.
That is weird. Go
Go
back to the main camera for now. But anyway, coming at Hit the Road, which is great, is that we've created a secret WhatsApp group for only clients, right? So when they hear, they can have updates on what's going on around, what's available. Maybe they want to jump on a food tour. Maybe they're interested in doing a hike, something like that. Maybe a recommendation for a new place that we've just thought of. Of course, our favorite 35 restaurants list, which is given to every one of our clients that book on our website. So if you're looking for the best tours in Madeira, yeah, you found them, right? Hit the Road Madeira. There's loads of new stuff coming. Again, I'm going to be here often. You know, the goal is to kind of start streaming. So that means at a regular basis. So probably a good time to have a look at the comments. Zita, thank you again, and brilliant idea. Yes, and yes, was the thing about people going missing, 100%. Okay, so somebody is looking for help with a moving company from Spain to Madeira. It's not quite within my niche, right? Because obviously I've been, if you know me well enough, I used to do this kind of real estate stuff and the moving stuff, and I've helped people move here and given many insights, not only on my videos, but also on a one-to-one basis. So I've kind of moved away from that because I wanted to focus really on tourism and my business and what I'm good at, right? And it's not that I wasn't good at that, but like I just want to focus on something and not have a million things going on. So moving from Spain to Portugal, Spain to Madeira, my advice that I would give you, Rainforestation 1, my advice that I would give you right now is that I would try to bring as little things as possible. Now it's easy for me to say because I'm a bit of a minimalist. The last 5 years I've had to move 4 times. Of course you put COVID in the middle of this and all just the madness of everything that happened in Madeira and my business and everything. I moved loads of times, and after moving so many times I just decided to not have a lot of stuff, right? So even people would bring me stuff. Talking about stuff, we got stuff here and we're going to talk about this, you know, what this whole thing is looking like and why it's all there. But I got over here, I still got a plastic chair, but I got over here the hat from one of our guests. The name escaped me. That was part of my homework to check who gave me the hat, and I totally forgot. But anyway, I can put it there. It's not quite in the shot. Anyway, thank you. All right, my Australian friends who I got to see on a tour, and they gave me a hat. You guys used to know that I loved hats, right? And I've had so many hats, and I actually want to start putting the hats up here, and I'm going to start wearing them on some lives as well. So Rue, Robert, the guys who gave me the San Francisco hat, all these hats are going to be coming to the live studio. And then if you want to send me a hat, you're more than welcome to, right? But moving all the time, right? If you're going from Spain to Portugal, bring as little things as you can. Get what you need on the island, including, cars, electronics, houses, obviously. But try not to bring a lot of stuff because it just costs you money. It's just stuff. You're better off selling it, trying to make some money there than bringing it here and using that money tactfully on your expenses, which you will, of course, if you're moving. I hope that helps. People who do a lot of this is the American couple, It'll Be Fun. Their channel, if you just check out their channel, It'll Be Fun. You're going to find Alan and Leslie and Wolf. They're doing the whole relocation thing. That's their niche and stuff. So check out It'll Be Fun on YouTube. That should help with that. And what else we got? That's it. So, all right, thank you again. There's probably like 6 of you guys watching, and that's awesome. And thank you again. You just got to deal with me, right? But if you have questions, please go ahead. Yeah, and Fabio loves his hat, Zita. Fabio loves his hat. I love my hats. I confess, I haven't been wearing any hats because of my hair. But this hair is temporary, right? Because I'm getting a little bit sick of it. But anyway, we wanted to move on to Fanal, right? Fanal is a very, very interesting story because a good maybe like at least 2 or 3 months ago, my friend Isa called me and said that she wanted to do a video about Fanal, about the conservation, that it's being destroyed. And, I was like, yes, 100%. I agreed with her. It wasn't in my scope of vision at the time. What was in my scope of vision was the fires. And I still want to do a video on that. But, Isa kind of pushed this video on. And what we decided to do was we decided to make a video about Fanal to create our own project. So we wanted to make almost like an AI walkthrough of what Fanal could look like if it was an A-class project. And, we went so far on this that we started shooting and we got some footage of Fanal, some generic footage that we could use. I got a couple of printouts on Google Maps of the actual space, right? Can you see that? No, it's dark. There we go. So there's Fanal over there. And this was kind of like our idea. This was literally myself and Andrea just sitting there thinking out loud. Mostly myself because Andrea probably hasn't been to Fanal as much as I have. But, like things like where would you put the parking? Where would you put the camping? How would you close this off? What section would be like that? And we started putting all of this energy in motion. We got 1 or 2 persons of influence involved as well. This video is coming out next week, Tuesday. And partly the reason why we're actually doing this video right now is because this video didn't get done because Andrea was busy on a feature film, which is pretty crazy. Until Sunday, was it? It was, basically until Saturday, really. Until Saturday. So, he's had 2 days off, off like a good long stretch of work. So I decided to buy Andrea some time for the Fanal video and to do this instead. So stay tuned is what I wanted to say to you guys. If you're the first time here by chance, subscribe to the channel. There's much more cool things coming, but the Fanal video is going to be great. And the story I wanted to get into, which you'll see in the video, is that funny enough, when we started filming, they started working and the government started doing it. That literally, the first day we went for filming, they were knocking in the fences. And then the last day we were filming, they had fenced everything. So we got the beginning and the end by chance because we had started this video way longer than what they had actually started with. So really weird turn of events. That's coming. I wanted to a little bit justify the fact that I haven't been on YouTube, and I'm hoping that maybe me being live like this could actually give a little bit more connection and value, and producing videos that are of deeper content. This Fanal video, we had made a decision that we were going to shoot 2 or 3 days to make one great video. So it's better in our heads for us to put out a video every 2 weeks instead of every week. and to make sure that it's, you know, fantastic. And the reason why this live comes in is so that we can supplement the lack of videos with a little bit more connection. So the next live videos you can expect, I've got already a little bit of a short list, but please give us ideas. I'm going to check the chat in a second. And of course, for those of you watching after it was live, let us know in the comment section. I want to know what to give to you guys. So yes, what you can expect is a little bit more information on all the stuff that people look for. So analyzing, you know, how to drive in Madeira, for instance, and giving actual value from my side, really just trying to pick my brain and give as much value to you guys and to hang out with you guys. And hopefully you'll appreciate it and jump on board. So looking into the comments, let's see if I can do this. Here we go. So now you guys are right over here looking in the comments. Looking for help from, yeah, that's I've done already, or at least we've touched on that. Yes, finally wearing the hat, Zita. Glad they're protecting. Yes. Yeah, and thank you, Zita. Yeah, look, this is my new adventure on streaming. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it feels like I'm back on stage with a new band, you know, because I used to love being on stage when I was a musician and playing drums. And lately, when I had this idea, you know, of course, I started thinking, yes, Andrea, thank you. I was looking at the wrong place, you know, so this is all the new things that are happening the first time you do it. But yes, you know, so this is where I'm going to be living maybe Tuesday, Thursday, I'm not sure, but I'm going to be going for once a week, once every 2 weeks. If we've got a video out, maybe it'll be less, we'll see. So moving on, Christmas is coming. We're all very, very excited for Christmas. And I've got something, a recommendation for you guys. Again, in the vlogs, we're going to be bringing all the Christmas, the beautiful Christmas things. We are, again, planning a deeper video so we can maybe take 2 or 3 days of filming, make it a really nice video with really beautiful for everybody. So that's coming. But I wanted to give you guys a tip. So now I'm going to try and do this again. Second camera is right over there. We're gonna hit this.
What about the? What's wrong with the?
We're gonna check. We're gonna check now.
Screen.
Computer screen. It's frozen, right? It's frozen. Right. It's frozen. So.
Can I come up there?
Yes, you can. Of course.
Hey guys.
There,
hey guys.
There's Andre.
Technical difficulties.
So just so you know, I'm horrible with computers. You know, absolutely horrible. Like literally 20 minutes ago, I pulled out the cable of the camera by mistake. How do you pull out a camera cable by mistake? You know?
Okay, it works. It works.
It works.
It works.
All right, so here we go. This is my friend Nuno's business. So again, you know, this is not all about the Jeff show, right? This is a great little business here, Madeira, classicmadeiratours.com. I know him as Nuno, right? A good friend of mine. He's already done some things for us as well. But he's got this little car, which is this one, what I'm assuming what he calls the Shrek over here. This is a Renault 5 or Renault 4. To be honest, I'm not big fans of the Renault, of those Renaults. So I don't know which one it is, but it's 4 or 5. And then this is, of course, the UMM. So he does Jeep tours. We all know that the best people do Jeep tours. So he does this, and he's doing a Christmas tour. So to see the Christmas lights in Funchal, and you can have the open top and see the Christmas lights. And you know that, or the open bus, the yellow or red open bus, top bus is also a great idea for all of you guys who are coming for Christmas. Also, if you are coming in the next couple of weeks and the Christmas time and you're looking for tours, then guys, please, this is not me trying to sell tours. Obviously, I do want to, you know, this is my business. This is how I put my food on the table. But we are filling up already. In fact, I myself am already basically fully booked from the 21st till about the 5th, I think, of January. So 21st December to 5th of January, I'm fully booked. And I'm like the last person to go out, right? Because all of our boys go out first. So, you know, as usual, book early. And I did want to mention as well that with the hiking, if you are watching and you're coming hiking as well, the hiking schedules and things, in the future, you should have to book early. It's coming January. I don't think you can book it yet. You'll probably only be able to book it by February. All right, but hey, we're not going to say this. We're not going to talk about the government. Christmas is coming. We're all very happy and we're trying to end off nicely. We are coming to the end of the year. Video in December is going to be shot real soon. We've got 3 weeks to tackle our actual secret project, which was the thumbnail of this video. You guys saw the Jeep. We've been cutting things and breaking things and ripping a Jeep apart, and people, maybe they're thinking, oh, he's building a Jeep, you know, but we don't do that. We're not Jeep builders, okay? So we're not trying to build a Jeep. We're not trying to use this place or this space as a place for us to do our own mechanical work on our cars, because we're not mechanics, all right? There is a new project coming, and what I can say is that I've already done a small search that we are, it seems, the first people in the world to build what we're building. And if it comes out on time, which the great thing about this is that it's all live, you know, so if it comes out on time, it's going to be epic. It's going to be awesome. And it's really going to make me feel like I accomplished something big just by accomplishing something that seems to be silly, right? Because when you see it, you're going to be like, well, that's cool, but it's kind of, how did you even get this idea? Yeah, it's kind of silly. And the fact that I'm hoping that that's done and that will be an achievement to me will be pretty amusing. But thank you, Kathy, for saying that my office looks great. Thank you. The rest of it is looking a lot better. The walls are painted. The kitchen is painted. There are shelves on the top. We have moved a lot of car parts onto the top shelves, because you've been here, Kathy, so you know. Kathy was the very first person to have a poncha in this place with some Reizinho. Today I'm drinking a little bit of Coral over there. Okay, so just a beer now at the end of the day. And Andrea as well, so cheers, Andrea. Cheers. We've got this little wine rack. We're going to be talking about the office, about all of this stuff, because there's a story here and everything. And I had a wild idea. I thought maybe I could do this and hang out with people once I'm famous, you know, and there's like 1 million people streaming with me, right? But maybe we could do like a wine review of a bottle. Maybe someone could send us a bottle, or maybe you guys could recommend us a bottle, even in the comments. Again, this is just the beginning. So maybe we can fill this up with some wine, and I can have some wine and talk Madeira stuff with you. Again, going to try and be bringing as much value as possible to all of you guys. This is supposed to be a new chapter. It's supposed to be a growth chapter. I want to bring in other things. The clock is there to remind us all about the time, right? The time that we have, the time of the moment. You know, when it comes to my business, it's very easy because I'm selling you time in Madeira, right? Because when you go with one of our guys, right, you're saving all that time. You're not driving, you're not planning, you're not even thinking, right? You're just going with the flow, and we're handling everything. How much is that time worth to you? And, you know, the other side of it, how much is having it go wrong not worth, right? Everyone always thinks about, oh, well, that's this and this. Okay, well, what's the opposite look like? What does the 1 day in Madeira out of 7 days or even 5 days, what happens if that day goes wrong because you get to a place, there's bad weather, you don't know where to park, you're walking up and down a road, you're checking an app, you're doing all these things. So as usual, the best way to do anything is hit the road Madeira. Is our tours, and not just our tours, but everybody's tours, all right? I want to push this new narrative of, I want to stand up for the local tour guide, okay? Because there is no comparison, especially if you get a good one, right? Obviously, nobody wants a bad tour guide. In fact, we're going to be making funny videos about, you know, your tour guide sucks. It's like reels for Instagram and TikTok, just guys doing stupid things. We've been wanting to do this for a while. We actually already did one. But anyway, that's why the clock is here. So the clock is here, we got the wine, we'll get into that. So yeah, let's see some questions here. We got Rue and Kathy. We got cheers from Rainflora Station. I hope that answered your question. I hope that helped. Unfortunately, I don't know any companies moving. So yeah, I hope that helped. Rue, for one of my best highlights, live streaming with me. Thank you, Rue. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here, right? You know, there is so many big things happening in this space. This is literally the first truly functional space in the larger space. We're working on podcasts. We're working on all sorts of things. But really, it's really quickly. And being the second month of rent in this place, all right, it's not mine, so don't go like Jeff's super rich now. No, we are renting the space, and it's only our second month, and look, we're here, we're online. So very happy to be here again. This is a new thing. Let's see where it goes. And thank you again, Roo. Thank you, Zita. Yes, plan B, ready, plan B, C, whatever. Here's one from Richard. What advice would you give to someone moving from South Africa to Madeira? It's never the right time. Thankfully, I've got a lot of advice. For most of you know that I'm a partner in PopSec Studios with Andrea. So we have a photo and film business as well. There is a new South African kind of person in the scene. And what you really need to know, what I want to kind of express with this is that there is a scene. All right, I had a drum teacher once. It taught me, a Brazilian drum teacher. It taught me a lot of things, not only how to drum. But this guy taught me one thing as well, was that if you wanted to get gigs, you have to be on the scene. And of course, on the music scene, we've all heard the word, but what is the music scene? It means going to the places where the opportunity is and being involved in it and solving problems. So of course, if you move and you're fresh, you don't know where to start. So tip number one is have some sort of buffer. I was very lucky when I moved here. I was a kid with nothing, so I had nothing to lose. But also, for a long time, I did nothing. Just carried on the bad habits and, really lost a few years. Although, you can't really say these things. But if you're coming now, certainly I think it's a lot easier. There's a lot more support available. I didn't have Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, newsletters, vlogs, right? I didn't have any of this stuff when I came here. I had to do it old school, just meeting people, doing any job I could do. Thankfully, there are jobs. You're going to be competing with the low industry, right? The thing, you do need to speak Portuguese. And this is a general one, right? If you are coming to Madeira, if you are moving to Madeira, you need to speak Portuguese, especially if you want to work in tourism, right? Again, I don't want to come out from a place of negativity, but I've been in the position where I've had somebody in my organization that did not speak Portuguese. It's not Jackie. If Jackie's watching, thank you for everything you've done for us, Jackie, and you're amazing. And I miss you, and I want to see you soon. It wasn't Jackie, it was someone else. I don't want to say names, but they did not speak the mother tongue, and it didn't go well, right? It didn't go well. Thankfully, that person was a very mature and responsible person and actually was the one to pull the cord before I did. But I did make a promise to myself that I wouldn't hire anyone that didn't speak Portuguese well and didn't know how to communicate with the locals. So you do need to learn how to communicate. You do need to learn all these things. So one, have a buffer, be ready. I was lucky. It didn't cost me much to be here. So have a buffer for the months that it takes you to learn. Number two, get any job as quick as possible. And there are many jobs, minimum wage, $900 a month, whatever it is. Even if it's less than that, just get that job and start hustling, start meeting people, go to places. Don't Netflix, don't sleep, just go out there. You can do it. You can do anything, okay? It's part of the reason for this. And then number three, don't beat yourself up about it. Everything takes a lot of time. The right opportunities come at the right time to people. If I had to do it all again, I would do things probably differently, yes, because I have hindsight. But what I would do differently is that I would try and do my kind of move into my own business a little bit smarter. I would have preferred to have pivoted by using other people's services, being more of a salesperson, connecting people together, than like, I'm starting a business now and I need clients, okay? Because that's very hard to be there, to get into a market, to penetrate a market. It's better to get into the market by helping the market and being a job in the market to somebody else. And then once you've been here for 2, 3, 4 years, then maybe you can start saying, hey, let me try a side hustle, and then maybe you can do that. So if that's what it is, then great. If it's for coming here to retire, to moving here to retire, then all you need to worry about are the costs, and the costs are high. One of my dreams is to retire in Madeira. back to the comments. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. Second camera. I'm looking at you guys. It's right there in the comments. Yes, Kathy, August is going to be fantastic. Yeah, thank you. Yes, and I'm Faye. Faye, I hope that helped. I hope that helped. Actually, that was for the South African, but yes, super grateful that my parents made sure we knew how to speak Portuguese. This was something I realized while there in December. Yes, 100%, and I'm glad I can speak Portuguese. It wasn't the greatest when I arrived. In fact, it was horrible when I arrived, but I practiced and I learned and I made all the mistakes. And you can't be scared of making the mistakes, but you do have to learn Portuguese. And yes, especially for immigrants, you know, guys who are Portuguese and living abroad, I never gave too much importance to myself because I was modern South African, young South African. I didn't go to Portuguese school. I was in sports and I had sometimes I had jobs. You know, I started working when I was still in high school. So I had a different lifestyle that didn't really include Portuguese school. But, you know, when I got here, I started reading the papers. I started texting people. I started reading the movies that I was watching at the bottom and talking and trying to talk. And how do you say this? And how do you say that? And making the worst kind of questions. And, you know, if I wanted to humiliate myself, I honestly could have. So don't be worried about that. And I'm always, you know, I'm always in favor of people trying their own thing, trying their new thing. So go ahead and do it if you want to, if you can, you know. But yes, I'm always positive on these things, and it can happen. In fact, I do think that Madeira these days, in a certain sense of it, is easier to do because you've got this new community, especially online. It's very easy to contact anyone you want to. So it's very easy to set things up. When I got here, it wasn't. And even then, it's only 15, 16 years ago. Like the internet has changed so much in these last 15, 16 years. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to build some Airbnb for art retreats, and I hope to be able to road trips for itinerary. So yeah, Faye, exactly. So if this is your kind of thing, then what I would say to you is, you know, you don't need to, well, and maybe this is not your thing because I guess I just assumed that maybe you wanted to buy an Airbnb and do it. And if that's what you want to do, then okay, cool. But I would say that's like 5, 10, 15 steps already too far. You know, I would first maybe try and find an Airbnb that's already there and that you can make a commission on, you know. So maybe contact them, maybe you can get a better deal. And then the value of your package can, you know, uplift the price, of course, you know, because you're giving more value. So then that way you don't have to invest in an Airbnb. You can just sell your idea and still make it. But there's a lot of competition, right? So you have to make sure that you got your marketing down, all these things. So maybe, you know, maybe you want to work for somebody doing the same thing for 2 or 3 years, then you can figure it out. I don't know, you know, I'm just trying to help. So I hope that helps. And I believe that's the comments for now. So moving on, I had another one was Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's see, a computer screen is up. Cristiano Ronaldo right here. There he is, him and Georgina. And apparently they are, is this them at the White House? So they were at the White House. And of course, they say that they're going to be married in Sa. So I apologize for this website. It's like making everything huge. But anyway, you know, they're talking a lot about Madeira, and of course there's the Goliath. I just wanted to talk about something really kind of on the news at the moment. But that is crazy to see where Madeira is going. And of course, Ronaldo has always been a big Madeira fan. You know, of course, he came from here, yeah. But I remember when I first arrived in 2009, the end of the year from 2009 to 2010, because I arrived in November, that first end of the year, Ronaldo was here. Now, obviously, he's not the Ronaldo of today, but he was here, if I'm not mistaken, was in La Vie, the top of La Vie, Divine Hotel, which is a great hotel, you know, award-winning design hotel. He was at La Vie for, there was the end of the year party there. If I'm not mistaken, of course, it was a long time ago. And I remember seeing a video of him kicking a ball and thing in a suit. And I think that was there. So he's been here a few times for the end of the year. And, you know, he did was it his mother's birthday last year? Or I should know this, but it's just so much that I have to deal with that I can't even think about when Ronaldo's details. So that's going to be crazy if he does come here. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Madeira and Funchal, who comes with him, how they deal with the logistics. Are they going to close down Funchal? How does it going to work? Is it going to be like crowds of people? Is the Rolls Royce going to be deployed? Or is it going to be the boss's range? And I'm talking about the big boss's range. Is it going to be the Savoy range, which doesn't go to anyone, but would maybe go for Ronaldo? I don't know, but I wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know what you think about that. Of course, it's news to Madeira. I honestly think that there's going to be a market of, Saudis and footballers and actors and actresses in Madeira. I do think it's going to happen because, Ronaldo hardly does any kind of marketing, but when he does, it's like, 50 million or 100 million or 200 million people see it. And apparently he does it for free for us, for everybody in Madeira. So, of course, he's an animal. We are all, most of us are super proud of him. But it'll be interesting to see and also what you guys think. And back to Faye, building an Airbnb for retreats. Yes, sorry, Faye. Yes, we answered that. Mark and Helen, hey, you guys are here. What night, a day and date before Christmas, is the family's night at the Funchal Market, Noito Mercado? And it's awesome. You guys are booked for December. That's so awesome. Can't wait to have you guys here. Please send me a message as well. Like I said, that time of the year is mental, but please send me a message. Noito Mercado is on the 23rd, all right? The 23rd. For those of you who don't know, Noito Mercado means the market nights, 23rd of December. FYI, we're not working 24, 25, and 26 of December, but we are open the rest of them. So if you are coming, hook us up. Best tours in the business. But the 23rd is the market night. Traditionally, I believe, it was a festival of some sort, a gathering to buy the last gifts or to buy the food for Christmas. Andrea, do you remember? Oh, battery, we're out. Second camera. Here we go. So for now, while we're changing batteries, we're using my old camera and we're checking, we've got to obviously work on logistics. So that's things we have to upgrade. There's more things coming. This is just really fully functional. I was a little bit worried about the sound, but I think it's coming out nice. I didn't have time to go to a barber. In fact, my barber didn't have time because I wanted to go yesterday or today. And unfortunately, his next opportunity was Wednesday, I think. So you guys have to deal with, with this. I can change. We go back to main camera. Yeah. And so the market night, Dre, could you help me on this one? The market night, is that what it was? That it was an opportunity to buy anything that you forgot about before Christmas and for Christmas lunch and dinner and things like that?
Basically, it was a festival around the market of Funchal, Mercado dos Lavradores. So people would go there and buy fruits, vegetables, and whatever they could find. Yeah. Originally, it was like that.
Yes.
Nowadays, it's something else entirely. Of course. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. I hope that answers. Mark, I hope that answers your question. You know what it is, I think. Hey, you catch us on our live streams. So yes, 23rd of December, big party, Noito Mercado. They close off a good part of the kind of older part of Funchal by the old town and in front of the market kind of thing. They do a closing off of that section. It's a party. You can eat, drink, shop, enjoy yourself, dance, all sorts of things. It's a great party, and it's almost an obligation to a lot of us locals. In fact, you usually have to have a very, very, very good reason to not go to Noito Mercado. I confess that usually that reason is, I'm too old for this crap. I don't have the patience to be around so many people. And then funny enough, everybody lands up going there anyway. sometimes only for an hour just to say I was there. You know, have a pork, wine, and a garlic sandwich. Have a poncha, preferably a tangerina poncha to celebrate Christmas. Maybe a ginginha if you like, and probably maybe I'm going to start having some of these liqueurs here. Maybe we can do a liqueur space over here for Christmas. So we're 40 minutes in. It looks good. Sound is good. Great. Next, this is a little bit of what we wanted to get to over here. So again, this is a prop. This is so that I look good on the screen, right? I think we kind of nailed it. Tell us what you think about the colors and the lights, and hopefully you can see me well enough. So I think it's good, but wanted to make it look good. That's an old speedometer from the car from our current project that we took out, and I kind of stole it for myself. Technically, half of that car is mine, so I can do whatever whatever the hell I want to. But there's probably a couple $100 there, so you know, because these things are rare. You know, remember we're driving classic Land Rovers, so part of this space is a garage, so that we can start keeping some things that we need. Not doing the work ourselves, but at least we've got these things. And then some of my favorite books. Can you guys see? You might not be able to see the titles, but there's the Portuguese in New Jersey. There's a whole book on that that we haven't even opened up. I think maybe you've got 1 or 2 books still of mine, or of ours, that we need to actually start going through. But this is just, look at how much content I have here to tell you guys about. And when I was bringing this all out, I was thinking, geez, this would be great even in the future. You know, every couple, 2 or 3 lives, I can bring out a book. So the next one is this one here. I want to give a shout out, right, to one of my friends, Rob Hoffman. He's got a YouTube channel. I can put it in the link below. Rob is Jewish Portuguese with lineage traced down to Madeira. Madeira, and then later, I mean, he's already told me the story, and it's just so in depth that I keep kind of forgetting. But eventually made it out to New York, and there's this kind of connection. So we're making a video about the Jewish history of Madeira, right? The Jewish history of Madeira. And he has borrowed me this book, or he has lent me this book. I'm borrowing his book, right? And so I'm very excited about that. It seems to be not a bad read, right? It's not like one of those crazy ass books like
that one.
Like that one there, right? Which I've heard that is a long and tiresome read and not perhaps worth so much of it. I like to read things that are very valuable, like in short pieces, because time is time is time. So that's one that's there. And I've got another book there that now we're making it live. This is almost like making commitments not only to myself but to everybody. So this is what it is. But there's a great book there about the entrepreneurs of Madeira, which is something I've been wanting to do. I've read a bit of it, usually on vacation, and then work gets in the way. So I really do need to find a system to do this. And I think this might be it. So we're all going to be learning from these things. There's my favorite Madeira wine book, Madeira by Alex Liddell. I've read maybe 3/4 of that book. Might want to read it over again. And then there's a great book that I have. And this is a great story. This is going to be kind of like the ending off story and maybe answering some questions of you guys. But this book, I wanted to tell you, and you probably haven't heard this story either, Andrea, but you can kind of see how faded it is.
Wow.
Right? Can you see that? It's like
It's in English.
super faded. It's taken a bit of a beating, right? You can see the shoulder is a little bit messed up there, right? Inside still looks great, but it's like very spiny. All right, it's just photos of flowers, right? And this was for a very, very long time one of my biggest stories, all right, when I started my business, because when I started doing Jeep tours in Madeira, my ex-boss told me that all I needed to do was give them poncha and make them laugh. So thankfully, when I was working there, I managed to hone that skill. But this guy, actually, this wasn't when I started my company. This was when I first started doing this. This was actually my first tour with real clients. Wow. So I was training for a while because I knew nothing. I didn't know the roads. I didn't know anything. There's no Google Maps. So I was training for a while. You know, I was very lucky that my first bosses, you know, saw potential in me, I guess, I hope. Anyway, they passed on a client to me that they didn't want to do. So they were already doing these clients and they're like, you know what, let's just pass it to Jeff. Let's see what he does. And basically this guy's saying, look, nobody cares about all these things, okay? Nobody cares about the history and the things. And, you know, they want to have a good time. They want to know what's Madeira like and what's this, you know, what's the school system like and what kind of nightlife have you guys got? And it's not got anything to do with, you know, dates, churches, you know. This is what my bosses are telling me, okay? Not me, all right? If you've just joined in, don't be like, Jeff doesn't know anything. They were like, don't worry, nobody wants to know this. They just want to have a good time and they want to laugh and they're on vacation. They want to see things. So that's it. And they sent me this client, which I remember was a German couple, couldn't speak hardly any English. So we can't communicate together. And these guys were obsessed with fauna and flora, obsessed with ground. You know, they were like, what kind of ground is this, you know, around the tree? And I'm like, ground? You know, I don't know. And after a couple of I don't knows, I thought, you know what, I can't carry on doing this because if these clients don't like what I do, they're going to call my boss. It's my first gig. They're going to say, this guy knows nothing. Hey, I want my money back, right? The worst thing that can happen. So I was like, yeah, you know, look, I'm not 100% sure about, you know, the names of these things because their faces were going sour, like German sour, right? And I was like, look, you know, this is in Portuguese, we call this flor amarelo. It's flor amarelo, you know, that's what everybody calls it. And these guys are like, oh, and big smile and they're happy. And I'm like, great, should we carry on? Yeah, cool, everyone's happy. They had a couple of days booked, so I had them for like 4 days. And on the last day, I think my bosses actually managed to sell other people onto this tour. And there was a Portuguese couple on this tour. And that Portuguese couple very soon realized that I was a hustler. They were like, hold on, what are you talking about? And they literally told these guys in English, they're like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, you know, like just like killing me on the spot, you know. And I was like, so then I pulled heartstrings. I looked at the lady and I was like, I'm sorry, it's my first time trying to, you know. And she walks into the souvenir store in Balcões in February, yeah, it might have been January. No, actually, it was later. It's probably March or April of 2010. And bought this book, right? And put it in my hands and said, you must learn. And I thought that was awesome. And I was like, you know what? She's just given me the perfect opportunity to not learn because she's given me an awesome story. So I'm very happy that this book made it to the bookshelf because as so many things in my life, remember, I'm not a material person anymore. So many things in my life get lost. So I'm glad that I still have this book and this book is up there. And we're going to be talking about more books. Again, I want to bring more value to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed that story. I had to get that somewhere in my YouTube sessions. And here we go. Let's see if there's any more comments. Guys, get your comments in if you're there. This is it. It was already 48 minutes in. I think we're pretty much, you know, tested. Let's see how this comes out afterwards, how it performs. I'm not sure when I'll be back. Next week, Tuesday, we're going to be putting out the finale vlog. And maybe next week, Thursday, maybe I can be back live. But I want to start doing this way more. You can now consider me a streamer. So you will now know where to find me, how to find me live. And I will be here talking and you guys can see. My wife is here. I want to say thank you to my wife who's watching right now. Of course, my wife and my family have been very involved in all of this. She's basically let me set this up. And also, you know, been very, very, very supportive. So thank you, babes. I love you and I will see you real soon. Okay, we're finishing this off. Guys, put your comments in and Glad that everything looks good. Does it look good, guys? You know, we put in a bit of effort into here. That's the Camel Trophy sunglasses case that Andrea offered to me. So Andrea, thank you again for that case.
No sunglasses though.
No sunglasses, unfortunately. I'm very bad with sunglasses. Here are my sunglasses. These are the latest ones. But I've got some new ones coming that you guys are going to love. I'm very excited about it. You know what I'm getting?
No.
You can't get it in Portugal.
No?
No, well, I don't think so. You can correct me or you can go looking. But I'm getting the Meta 2 Ray-Ban
That's cool.
AI glasses so that I
That's
can
nice.
record. And can you imagine the videos I'm going to make? Can you
That's
guys
gonna be
imagine while
great.
I'm driving and you guys can see where I'm going, oh my God, you know, and all sorts of things. So I'm very, very happy. And Paul, I'm still talking to my good friend Paul from New Bedford. Well, actually, just next to New Bedford. Can I remember where he's from?
Providence? East Providence?
No, it's a Mattapoisett or one of those next door neighbor. You know.
Well,
Sorry,
yeah.
Paul. You'll have to remind me. Paul's coming out. We're doing some tours, but it's basically feast friends. You know, I've got a soft spot for everyone at the Madeira Feast. And speaking of that, I do actually need to put in my membership form so I can be officially a member. So I'm putting that on the to-do list as soon as this ends because now I've got a printer and everything, so we can do that. But I'm getting those glasses, so I'm very, very happy. Maybe they can go in the case, you know, who knows. Anyway, that's hopefully that's not too much of a thing. As an artist, your background looks very tropical. Love it. Thank you, Faye. Office spot on. Thank you, Zita. So, Faye, I hope you're still here. Press the wrong button. Wrong button. There you go. Faye, I hope you're still here. So let me see. Are you living in Gibraltar right now and has a lot of connections to Madeira? Yeah, perfect. We have direct flights to Madeira. Oh, wow. Good stuff. That's exactly what basically I was kind of, you know, saying. Yeah, Faye, that's what I was saying. You know, you need to hustle before, you know, try and get as much as you can do with having as little as possible. So if you can be a good salesperson and a good, you know, connecting people, that's what good business is. You're connecting people, you're finding the right places, you're putting in the sum of the parts that are making a bigger value, then you're going to be just fine. So good luck on that. And thanks for sticking around. Last question. So guys, last questions. Johnny did 2 tours with Hit the Roads. One private, one group. If anyone hasn't given them a shot, it's a must. Thank you, Johnny. I didn't know you were on a tour. For those of you who don't know, I'm not so much in the back office these days. You know, I'm more like CEO. I'm trying to kind of put everyone in their own places and the business growing as a whole. Of course, I'm still very active, but it's changing. So I haven't noticed that you were on a tour. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. You know how good it is. And I'm sure you know that you can't do it yourself. So thanks again. Thank you, Kathy, for watching. Big hugs, big kisses. I'll see you soon. And thank you for sticking around. Zita as well. Thank you, Faye. Thank you, Rue. Wonderful night to you guys. Thanks. Johnny with Hugo and Wilson. And you met me in Ponta do Sol. Whoa. Guys, if you're watching and you haven't met me or you want to meet me or you've seen me out, say hello, right? I'm a normal guy. You say hello. I'll happily greet you guys. And sorry, Johnny, now I'm a little bit blank. There's a lot going on in my head right now, so I can't remember who, but I'm glad you had a good time. And I know who you are with the comments, but I don't know who you were on the tour. So thank you again. Thanks, Zita. And hope you've been good plans to Madeira. Thank you, Faye. Yes, thank you to all the rest of you guys. Let me see if there's anything else. Next week, we've got Tuesday's video coming out. Also, the plans for next year, right? So we'll end it off there. Next year, we are planning already some more USA trips. All right, we've got an idea for another New York visit. We've got an idea for another Boston visit. We've got an idea for California and Hawaii. Our friend Joey Batts is opening a pastel nata shop in Boston Central Station, so I can't wait to go back there to try the amazing blueberry natas. if by any chance this message gets to Joey Bats, please, brother, send some of those blueberry pastel natas
Yes, please.
to Madeira. We love them. Open up a shop here. No, it's not worth it, but everyone's going to be happy, all right? It's not Boston Central, but, you know, you could do something, I think. I could help. Anyway, we are going there. So we're looking at going to Hawaii and California. At the moment, it's May, June. We are going to be looking for people. We haven't started contacting people yet, but the last time we went and we did all of these Portuguese community videos in the US, the last time we went there, we got in touch with a bunch of people. And of course, you know, there was a lot of it that was planned. There was a lot that was unplanned and that was purely focused on luck, like finding the newspaper in New Jersey, finding the TV station in New Jersey, finding the first Portuguese anchor, RTP anchor in America. We found that guy from research and banging on the door and knocking on the door, should I say, and these guys were there. So we're looking for people in California and Hawaii, preferably Madeirans. If anyone knows anybody who knows anybody who thinks they know somebody, please get in touch with me. Let me know because I'd love to, you know, try and get the best possible project out for you guys. So that's something to look forward to from you guys. If you don't know, in the other business in PopSec Studio, the business that is behind the YouTube channel, we are building a serious documentary. I was going to say documentario. We are building a serious documentario on the Portuguese immigration to North America because it's just something that interests us, me coming from immigration. So if you know anybody in California or in Hawaii or even anywhere else in the States that maybe we'd be interested in revisiting, because this is a long-term project. We're not expecting this to be done in a year or two. So we want to do a good job, and California and Hawaii are big ones. So if you guys know anyone, please let me know. And that being said, thank you again to everyone. We will remember your Astros. Yes, Zita, please. Astros, we love them. You can send me as many Astros as you want. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Andrea, for being here. Andrea has been here helping, making sure the first one kind of worked. And I've started getting a kind of a feel for this. So I think I can kind of do this by myself. So we'll see where we get to. And hopefully we can get a little bit more traction and more people here and talk about interesting things. So I promise to bring my best to you guys. To all of you, have a fantastic week. I love you all. And I will see you next time. Andre?
Let's hit the road!
Let's hit the road. Now, am I going to have to say this myself?
Or maybe someone that's here with you. If you're
Mate,
all by yourself.
I'm so lonely in this place, man. I'm the only guy who stays here until.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe get an AI companion. The AI companion can say, "What's at the road?"
Well, we're trying to do that with our WhatsApp group, you know. So we're building our own little AI bot that's going to live in the WhatsApp group. We don't know how yet, but I think it's possible. So we've started the WhatsApp group, and for now we're going to be in there. So if you book a tour, you're going to get into our WhatsApp group. Good thing we should actually check with Emilio if he's done what I asked him to do.
Okay, well, and you need to get that bot a name.
We have to give that bot a name. So
Yeah.
if you're watching this and you've got a name for our bot, then go ahead and let us know. No, we'll figure out something cool. And yeah, maybe I'll just tell people to say, let's hit the road. Huh? And that's it.
Yes, exactly.
Ruse just said it. Kathy just said it. Thanks, guys. Right, so stop streaming or end broadcast?
It's wow, that's a good question.
Good question.
I think it's end broadcast.
End broadcast. Well, let's see what happens next. Cheers, guys. See you later.